All right, so I wanted to make a video walking you through one of my favorite new frameworks for motivating myself, my employees, my students, my mission, and everything in between. And it's a book that I was very lucky to stumble upon. It's called The Infinite Game by Sinek Sinek. And when it comes to building a business, building a school, whatever it is that you're doing, I've always really believed that we are doing something bigger than ourselves. And for the first time using this framework, I finally feel like I found a way that I can have a statement that I can share with anybody, right? That is my friends, it's my family, it's my people that I refer, it's my students, my customers, that everybody's kind of in tune with a North Star. And it's a North Star that is separate from the product or the program or from the launch or anything else that can potentially risk the venture, right? Like myself, like I am also a liability to the things I create because one day I'm going to be gone. So with the Just Cause, we want to create something that is above ourselves, right? It's bigger than ourselves, and it actually can take the business, take the mission, take the school that we are creating, rip it out of ourselves, and give a picture of a future state of the world that anybody who comes into contact us can help us pursue. And so it's a little bit different than the why. The why feels more of something that's like personal, like why am I waking up every day? And the mission is very similar. It's like I'm on a mission in order to do this, but the mission and the why is kind of a stepping stone into the Just Cause. It's a very ethereal framework. And after doing my own noodling, and this took like probably 2 or 3 days of noodling, I landed on Light School Unlocks Teachers' Wisdom to Accelerate Human Flourishing. And I chose those words very deliberately. Teachers can mean many different things. Like today, it's an actual teacher. It's a coach. It's a practitioner. It's somebody who's at the head of a school, who's building a program in order to facilitate an outcome. But a certain situation could be a teacher, right? A tree can also be a teacher, right? There's many different teachers in the world. So I felt like it had enough ambiguity, but also enough resonance with what's currently in front of us to fit well in my Just Cause. And human flourishing can exist across any different medium, right? Our school currently has 6 different programs, which is going to expand immensely. And we are unlocking flourishing for so many different groups of people. So every meeting that I have, every sales call I have, every employee that I'm even interviewing, I make sure to mention the Just Cause because it allows them to really get behind the mission and really feel into whether or not it resonates with them. And I'm telling you, like when the frequency like hits, you can actually feel it happening. So I put together a little super prompt that we're going to dive into, and that can actually go into how to actually do this. So in the top here, we have some of the instructions, but we're going to go specifically into the action steps. So we use Claude.ai. It's the best AI copywriter. Don't ask me why. And what we first do is we want to provide it with information about our business. So I'll just go ahead and open up Claude. I'm going to put down the microphone. And what I'm going to then do is I'm going to pop in that statement. All right. And I'm just going to say I'm building Light School, which empowers teachers to create high-ticket programs for their audience. So I'm gonna turn it off from concise mode. I'm going to put it into normal mode. Sometimes it does that to save bandwidth. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click go, okay? And what it now has done is I've just given it a little bit of context, okay? Kind of can ignore all those different steps. Instead, what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to pop in this second prompt. It's much larger. I'm not going to walk through all the different aspects of how I created it, but just know I've been iterating this over the course of the last couple of days. So now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to pop it into Claude. Okay, and then let's just see what it comes back with. So now it's thinking. Okay, so what it's doing now is it's providing me with 5 different options. So says, we unleash the transformative wisdom of teachers, empowering them to spark curiosity, ignite potential, and elevate education beyond traditional boundaries. Sounds pretty good. We champion educators in their quest to share life-changing insights, breaking down barriers between expertise and opportunity. Now, I want to be clear that a just cause really should be one sentence, right? It should be something very concise that we can repeat a lot, and you will be repeating this a lot, but this is a really good start, which is why the next step is to use refinement prompts. So refinement prompts are there, like once we've identified a couple of examples that we like, I'll just put this in. And what I would do is I would just take like little bits of the top and just put it in around like maybe just some little bits. Okay, I like that bit. Create an unstoppable, transform, change to share knowledge. So I'm gonna take that bit out. And you can, by the way, you can run this first prompt as many times as you want. You can also just simply ask it to give you like 5 more options. All of that's okay. And you kind of just want to noodle on it until you feel like we're getting somewhere close. But when you find some bits that you like, you can just put that into the refinement prompt, and you'll see that's actually going to kind of further dial it in. So we unlock extraordinary teachers with potential within teachers, sparking an infinite chain of wisdom that flows from heart to heart, building an unstoppable legacy of transformation and enlightened learning. And so, yeah, I then go back over here, and again, it's going to further refine. And I actually encourage you to not only use the AI, but like begin to write down some of the words that really resonate. You know, don't be afraid to like make some handwritten notes during this process. And then what I'm going to do is once I have one that I like, so let's just suppose that out of these 3, I've got this one that I like. I'm just going to grab that one. I'm just going to put it into the prompt, okay? And then I'm just going to see what it can do is in order to break this down to something simpler. And there you go. We unlock teachers' extraordinary wisdom to spark a boundless wave of inspired learning. Not so different than the one I came up with. Remember, this didn't have any of the context besides that first sentence that I gave it. The second one, we liberate teachers' hidden brilliance to ignite an unstoppable cascade of enlightened education. Cool. A little bit woo-woo, but that's cool. We unleash teachers' untapped potential to fuel infinite chains of transformative knowledge. That one is actually pretty cool. So you can also click the retry button, make it so that it does it again. And the point is to get down to a sentence that really resonates with you as the founder, right? It should be something we share with our students. We share it on sales calls. We share it everywhere we go. And so it can spark that inspiration that will empower others to get on this mission with us. And it's ultimately something that future generations can carry forward. It's really empowers me to wake up. It reminds me of my mission every day. And it's also just serves as like something that when projects are thrown at me or things are thrown at me, I can very easily say no because it's not a part of my just cause, right? And the just cause is, it's not only for you, it's for the people that are around you, right? And it's very easy to share it where you're going to find people who really resonate with that. In fact, I had a sales meeting like a month ago where this person, I'm like, when was the moment you wanted to become a coach? And she's like, well, I saw a slide on a deck at a meetup I went to. And I'm like, wait, what was on the slide? She said, human flourishing. And I got chills. I turned my notebook around, and written on the page was, Light School unlocks teachers' wisdom to accelerate human flourishing. She looks down, she's like, whoa, that's crazy. So it's we're pulling these words from the ether. It becomes much easier to not only find the people that really resonate with what we're doing, but also say no to the things that don't necessarily do. So I hope this process is very helpful for you in defining your just cause. And yeah, in the beginning, just try to provide it with as much context. This can be copied from your website. This can be your curriculum outline. This can be anything that will provide the context. And I encourage you to make this an exploration, right? When that sentence is defined, it's something that we usually are going to roll with for some time. And yeah, don't be afraid to hit us up and ask us for feedback. We'd love to see what you come up with. So thank you. And thank you to Simon Sinek for this incredible work. Again, the book is The Infinite Game. If you want the full context around this is just the tip of the iceberg in terms of all the stuff he goes into, but it is the meatiest bit from the book. So thank you, Simon. Thank you to you for being a part of Light School. And I'm sending you so much love from 2025.